Hi everyone, Mike White here. Welcome to this week's blog post. Last week we spoke about the 90-day countdown and getting prepared for all the deals that you can get into your system over the next 90 days that'll close in 2020. And it was all very important points and certainly things that we've covered in the past. And I want you to take that information and help your clients and your referral partners benefit from the information because, again, it's very confusing with everything that's going on, and the days seem to run into weeks and months together. And before you know it, we're going to be in the middle of the holiday season and the end of the year. Throw in a presidential election cycle, and it just really there's just a lot to deal with. So we really need to be proactive. But this week, I really wanted to have a conversation about the countdown within the countdown. And I think this additional piece of information is really important because always information is what we do, right? We have industry information. We filter it through the mortgage industry and how it may impact and benefit or potentially be a detriment to our clients and our referral partners. And a very important piece of that is something I'm sure you've seen and we've dealt with over the last few weeks, which was, and again, call it what you will, the 50 basis points tax on refinances, which was implemented through the agencies, through the FHFA, and then withdrawn temporarily. And that's the key word, temporarily. Many people are running around the industry saying, okay, they got rid of the 50 basis points tax on refinances. The reality is that we didn't get rid of it. It got delayed. As it stands right now, that tax, if you will, that surcharge, whatever you want to call it, is going to be back in December. And obviously things can happen between now and December, but the reality of it is you can't be surprised because many of us are dealing in a marketplace where you're seeing a great deal of volume. The closer we get to December, remember, we're losing time because of Thanksgiving. And, it's going to happen on top of us. And if you're not messaging with your people, if you're not telling them or you're not communicating with them and your referral partners about what this means, they could very easily miss it. And in the written blog post, which is, again, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, however else you're following me for the printed material, I have a link to a very well done Housing Wire article that you can reference and share with people. And there are many other sources you can go and get that information to back up what it is you're saying, because many people say that, well, it can't just be me saying it. Well, it's not just me saying it. It's for now, it's very real. Unless something happens between now and December 1st, where you're going to see the 50 basis point increase on refinances, which takes a lot of the benefit away from people who want to benefit from lower rates. So we know that about 60% of the loans that we're seeing in volume right now are refinances. And it would be a really good idea for you to get out there and let the people know in your database what's coming and that the clock is ticking on this tax or what amounts to be or what will be a rate hike. And while you're having those conversations, you got to do what many of my clients are doing right now and seeing phenomenal results, which is using the forever home strategy to talk to those refinance potential clients about, if they're in their forever home, that's great. If they're never going to plan on going anywhere, then we certainly should refinance them to make their housing costs as low as possible. But many of my clients are seeing 20 or 30% of the people that they're talking to realizing now that selling their current house and buying the next one, A, before the next house goes up in price, and B, before interest rates go any higher, becomes really important. And the verbiage is important. Because to ask somebody in general, are you planning on moving in the next few years, they may not be planning on it. And it's sort of an ambiguous question, but asking them, are you currently living in your forever home? And making the case for why they need to really at least think about the possibility that if they're not in their forever home, now might be the time before the price of their forever home goes much higher, or the interest rates that they're going to see to finance that property go higher as well, that it may be a really important thing to do. And oh, by the way, as a strategy, it doesn't hurt if you can generate listing opportunities and buy side opportunities for your realtors. And it doesn't hurt to share the strategy with your realtors who may be struggling generating listings for them to go back into their databases of people that they've closed 3, 4, 5 years ago or longer and ask them the same question. Because ultimately, the realtors are also looking for activities and strategies that they can implement to help them put together their transactions, because they're running against the same clock we are. Let's be honest, if it's not in the pipeline by the end of November, beginning of December, it's not going to close in 2020. And for many of them, if they don't close sooner than that, they're not going to get paid on those deals in 2020. And for some people, that will be a big deal for either income targets or for their own production values. They become very significant. So again, take this information, use the tools on the website, work with the Forever Home strategy. And as always, if you have any questions, it's Mike at imtcoaching.com, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.